Have you ever experienced when you attended a meeting and something important was decided in there? A deadline, a follow-up, a decision that your boss expects you to take action? You know it happened and you know you have written it somewhere, but when you finally had the time to open your planner to take action, you can't find any of it, because it's buried somewhere between last Tuesday's task list and other appointments and meetings that you attended throughout that week. I spent years cycling through every possible fix for this: a recording phase, a sticky note phase, a just write everything in my planner and hope for the best phase. And the fix that finally worked turned out to be almost embarrassingly simple. But before I got there, I made every possible mistake, and let me take you through all of my mistakes. So I want to take you back to my Hobonichi cousin phase. Beautiful planner, incredible paper, weekly and daily spreads with just enough room for everything. I brought it to every meeting, every one-on-one with my boss, every project check-in. It was my everything. Tasks, appointments, plans, notes, ideas, all in one place and all in the Hobonichi. And at some point, I decided that I will start recording my meetings because I just couldn't catch up by writing and also stay present in the room, then re-listen afterward and pull out the action items properly. Well, it sounds smart, right? Except that it failed completely. I would sit there re-listening to a 45 minutes meeting, trying to separate what was actually mine to take action from what was just background conversation, small talk, things that were said but didn't lead anywhere. So I missed things anyway, and I wasted an hour. I still walked away unsure of what I was supposed to do. So I went back to writing, except now my Hobonichi was filling up fast. Meeting notes eating into planning pages, discussion points bleeding into my task list. I couldn't tell where a conversation ended and where my actual week began. So the planner I loved was becoming unusable. And then I tried sticky notes. Meeting notes on the sticky, planning in the planner. It sounds clean separation, right? Except that the glue of my sticky notes was bad, and I would open my planner and the sticky notes were just gone. Genuinely no idea where they went. Somewhere in the office presumably, but not with me. So I remember sitting at my desk thinking, how else am I going to do this? I wish that I had a robot that could just hand me the action list. Even now, with AI able to help with some of this, so many of us are still not apt enough to use it. Sounds familiar, right? If you've ever said my notes are all over the place, I write it down and I can't still find it, or just it's chaos and I don't know how to fix it, well, you already know what I'm talking about. Something structural is going wrong, and once you see what it is, you can't unsee it anymore. So here's what I know now. So most of us treat our planner as the one tool for everything. Tasks go in, appointments go in, and then meeting notes also goes in there. What your boss said in the Monday catch-up goes in, discussion points, decision made, things to follow up on, all of it, you put it in the planner. And the planner starts filling up with raw, unprocessed information. Things that haven't been sorted into what they actually are yet. Things that look like notes but haven't become tasks or projects or calendar entries. Not yet, maybe not ever. So the assumption underneath all of this is, if I was just organized enough, one tool should be enough to hold all of it. But here's the real problem. Your planner was never designed to hold raw information. It was designed to hold the decisions, things that you have already processed, already sorted, already committed to. So the moment you start pouring unprocessed meeting notes into it, you have asked it to do a job it was never built for. So think about your kitchen pantry. Everything has a place. Tins on one shelf, grains on another, spices lined up in their row. So it works beautifully because everything in there has already been unpacked, sorted, and put where it belongs. Now, imagine you come home from the supermarket and instead of unpacking the bags, you just push everything directly onto the shelves. Packaged, unpackaged, refrigerated, dry goods, all of it straight into the shelf without sorting. Now that pantry stops working immediately. You open it and you feel overwhelmed because you can't find what you need. It looks full, but you still can't put your dinner together. And that is what's happening to your planner. So the mistake was not that you were disorganized. The mistake was pushing unpackaged groceries straight onto the shelves and then wondering why you didn't have time to make dinner. So what do we do instead? Well, you need a counter. In every functional kitchen, there is a counter between the front door and the pantry. Everything lands there first. You put the bags down, you unpack them, you sort through what came in, and only then things go to the right shelf in the right place. So before I show you what that counter looks like at work, drop a comment. Have you ever walked out of a meeting, opened your planner to figure out what to do next, and just couldn't find what you were looking for? Tell me what that moment felt like. I spent a long time thinking the problem was me, and I want to know if you've been there too. And if you are not sure yet what kind of planner system fits, how your brain actually works, I will drop the link to my free planning DNA quiz in the description. It tells you which of 6 planner types you are in under 5 minutes. So worth knowing before you invest in building anything new. Now, that counter in your work life is your work notebook. And I want to be specific here because this is where people get confused. This is not your focus planner. So your focus planner is for capturing your own thoughts, ideas, reflections, things that live inside your head and need somewhere to land. Well, the work notebook is for something completely different. It's for external inputs, anything that came from a work conversation, what was discussed, what was decided, what was agreed on by people in the room. And it doesn't need to be anything special. Any empty-lined notebook works. Nothing fancy or no special system pre-printed inside. You are not decorating it, you are not setting it up, you are just giving work discussions their own dedicated space, completely separate from everything else. The only rule is this notebook is for work discussions only and nothing else lives in here. So this was my work notebook when I was working in my full-time job. So I always carry 2 of them together with my planner. This was my Hobonichi and this was the notebook that I was telling you about. And as you can see here, there's nothing structural about it. It's just purely discussion and actions that need to be done. All the meetings, decisions, and everything are in here. So this notebook goes everywhere at work with you. Your boss drops by your cubicle and mentions something about a project deadline, notebook. You are in a team meeting, notebook. Someone gives you verbal instructions on a task and you need to remember exactly what was said, notebook. A phone call with a client where decisions get made, notebook. So if it came from a work decision, any work discussion, formal or not, it belongs here. So the habit is this. You bring 2 things to every meeting, every discussion, every work conversation. Your notebook and your planner. The notebook catches everything that comes in. The planner stays clean from all the discussions or decision, but you will be referring it for other matters like your schedule or any task that you have made previously can be referred in there. So now, how you set up each entry matters. Every time you open to a fresh page for a discussion, write the date at the top first. Then write the title. What meeting is this or what is this discussion about? And underline it. Then note who you are with and who else is in the room. And whenever a decision or idea comes up, write down who said it, who proposed it, who agreed to it. So this turns your notebook into a record, not just a dump. Weeks later, when someone says, wait, what did we decide in that meeting? You flip to that date, find the underlined title, and everything is right there. So what was discussed, what was decided, and who said so. And this matters more than people realize because at work, decisions get forgotten. People misremember. Someone says they never agreed to something, someone claims a different deadline was set. When you have a dated, titled record of every discussion with names, you are not relying on your memory against someone else's. You have it written down. That notebook quietly protects you in ways your planner never could. So here's something important about processing, and I want to be real about this because real work days don't always give you a quiet moment after every meeting. Back-to-back meetings happen, full days happen, and that's completely okay because your notebook holds everything safely until you are ready to process it. So what you do on the day is this. If something genuinely urgent came out of a meeting, something that has to happen today, circle it in red right then and there. That's your same day flag. you can act on it immediately without processing the whole notebook. Everything else stays where it is and you sort it when you actually can. Sometimes that's the next morning, sometimes it's 2 days later, and sometimes it's Friday afternoon when you finally sit down and work through the whole week's entries. So the notebook does not expire, it holds it all until then. So once you do sit down to process, sort every item into one of three destinations. I prefer to highlight every action that comes out of the meeting or discussion I attended so that when I flip the pages in future, I will know that's the action plan or decision that was made for that discussion. So destination 1, it's a project. If what came out of that meeting requires planning across time, multiple steps, a timeline, people involved, resources to coordinate, it goes to your strategic planner under projects. For example, if your boss said, we need to put together a proposal for the new client by end of the month, that's a project. It needs a home where you can think it through, break it down to several tasks, and build it out. It's not a sticky note thing, not your daily planner, but in your main strategic planner. And now, destination 2 is future event. If it's tied for a specific date, a presentation, a submission deadline, a performance review, a team check-in that's been scheduled, it goes into your strategic planner's calendar section or directly into your calendar, maybe your phone or your office calendar or something. Because it has a date, it belongs to that date and nowhere else. And of course, you also need to figure out what action needs to be taken for that task. And also you need to be deciding whether it goes to your project or your task map list. And now, destination 3, it's a follow-up. So if it's something that you need to action soon, an email to send, a document to prepare, someone to chase for information, a quick task that came out of the discussion, it goes into your daily planner, into the task for the day or week it actually needs to happen. So 3 questions, 3 destinations, and every piece of information from every meeting, every drop by, every work gets sorted into one of them. Nothing floats, nothing stays buried in a notebook you wrote in once and never looked at it again. So this 3 destination system that I mentioned is based on what I do. If your work system requires additional destinations, use them too. Don't follow my system exactly because your system will definitely be different from mine. So here's something that surprised me when I started doing this. I actually started listening better in meetings. When you are not trying to sort information in real time, frantically deciding whether something is a task or a project or a calendar entry while someone is still talking, your brain is free to just be present. You write it all down, you sort it later, and the quality of both your listening and your sorting goes up because they are not competing for the same mental space at the same time. So let me bring this back to my Hobonichi days. So I began to carry a separate notebook together with my Hobonichi planner, and I stopped listening to hour-long recordings hunting for action I never clearly captured in the first place. So the urgent things were circled in red on the day, and the rest waited in the notebook safely with the date and title at the top of every page until I had the time to sit down and process it properly. A project here, a future event here, a follow-up in the daily planner, 10 minutes, everything in its right place, a clean planner, a clear week, and if anyone ever questioned a decision that came out of a meeting, and trust me, it had a few times, I would just flip to the date, find the underlined title, and show them exactly what was said and who said it. So the notebook was the missing counter, and I just didn't know I needed one at the time. So here's what I want you to take from this. Your planner was not your problem. You are not disciplined as well, but you were just pushing unpackaged groceries straight onto the pantry shelves and then wondering why you couldn't find anything. No pantry works like that, and that's not a failure of the pantry. That's just a failure of the process, and the process is fixable. So when raw information has its own dedicated space to land, a counter, a notebook somewhere, it can sit before it gets sorted. Your planner gets to do the only job it was ever built for, which is planning, actual, useful, clear planning. So you don't need a robot to hand you your action list. You need a notebook, a planner, and 3 questions. That is not a discipline problem. That is a tool problem, and tool problems have tool solutions. So you were never the person who couldn't handle their workload. You were just missing the counter and blaming yourself every time the pantry was a mess. So if this resonated with you, if you've been walking out of meetings and losing track of what you were supposed to do, here's your next move. My ebook, The 3-Brain Planning System, walks you through exactly how to build your own planning system, a focus notebook, a daily planner, and a strategic planner, and how all three of them work together so nothing falls through the cracks again. It's linked in the description box below. And if you want to know which planner type you are before you set anything up, take my free planning DNA quiz first. It's also in the description box, and in under 5 minutes you will walk away knowing exactly which of 6 planner types you are and why your current system might not be clicking. So if this helped you, send it to someone at work who has been drowning in meeting notes and blaming themselves for it. They are just missing one thing, which is the work notebook. And that's all for today. I hope you will have a wonderful week ahead, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.